This is Thrive, and I'm Susanna Kennedy. And of course, we are thriving in connection and spirit and health and healing with the wonderful Brandon Bays.
It is possible for you to find out and to really finish with what is sabotaging you in your life. And so instead of beating yourself up, but yes, I followed all the rules, I put it out there, I wrote it down, I was passionate about it. Say instead, there's a deeper calling happening from within myself to get to the emotional root cause of what is causing these silent saboteurs to shut me down just when my divine potential is going out.
I'm so grateful to have wonderful facilitators, healers, teachers like yourself to be a part of this network that does bring information to empower you, the people out there. This is the Thrive Network, and I am chatting to Brandon Bays, who went through an extraordinary healing journey of her own and now teaches people that journey that takes you through a process that heals you on a cellular level. It is so profound. It is called The Journey by Brandon Bays. Good morning, everybody. This is Thrive, and I'm Susanna Kennedy. And of course, we are thriving in connection and spirit and health and healing with the wonderful Brandon Bays. So welcome, Brandon Bays. I'm so happy to have you here on Thrive. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm always so happy to be with you on Thrive and to feel that your message of clarity and hope and beautiful process work and healing is going to reach out to thousands and even millions. And so I feel grateful and privileged to meet with your beloveds who are watching this as well as our own.
I'm so glad as well. I know that you've been doing so much work, and you've just had your first online journey intensive. How did that go?
It's been amazing, actually. I've been doing live streaming and events like this since 2011, when it hadn't even started, and we developed our own platform, had a company in Estonia do that. But I always reserved it for doing television shows, interviews, and webinars. And when the whole COVID thing happened, I had to take a deep breath in, because I've been offering the Journey Intensive for 26 years. And it's the foundational program of this profoundly healing work. And one of the things that is the hallmark of the journey is we have immense support. When you go to a Journey Intensive, there's usually one trainer there for every two couples that are working together. And they create an embrace so you can have the in-depth work and all the support you wanted. And yet, when this whole thing happened, I had to go, okay, take a deep breath in, and we've got to somehow create that same support, that same embrace, but in a virtual way. And I have just been blown away, honestly, Susanna, because what's happened is we found this platform called Mighty Network, which is a part of a Zoom platform. And it allows you to go into various rooms. And so you may be cross-processing with someone, doing an in-depth process, but there's a trainer assigned to you. And you can just raise your hand and boom, they go in and they support you in your process. And so all my prayers for the same presence to go out, the same depth of teaching, the same embrace, the same processing have been realized. And I just last night was giving a satsang with a group from the North American group, because we did Europe first, and then the next weekend we did the North American time zone, and then the next weekend after that we did the Australasian time zone, so that people could take it in live time in their own countries. And so it's just been such a revelation to me. People say they feel like they're sitting in the front seat at a Journey Intensive, and that this presence of stillness and love is just filling their whole room as they're going through it. So it's been a revelation, and the healing that has happened has been a revelation to me. And just to hear that, so when I do a satsang, there's the 2-day version and then the 2 weeks, so it's done over time. And so I did that satsang last night, and there was one woman who she had chronic, excruciating back pain for over 30 years and had all kinds of medical treatment, and nothing did anything. And so she took the 2 week version. She couldn't sit for more than an hour at a
Sure.
time. And so, in undergoing the journey work, she said it was the most extraordinary thing. The pain hasn't 100% alleviated, but so hugely alleviated. And then she's not only that, but faced and cleared some of her deepest issues. And so it's just a miracle to me that this is possible in this
Mm.
time when we all need this work, that it's available now and you can get it online and have the same depth of experience and healing that you would if you were with me in person. And so I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful to people like yourself who are getting work out there, not just mine, but all sorts of presenters' works
Yeah.
out there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is so amazing. And one of the things that I've really realized in this time is so many of us, or not so many of us, because I think that I, like you, have been connecting with people online for a long time. But a lot of people have thought, oh no, how am I going to connect as intensely? Which is so understandable if you're used to that one-on-one work, you know, the physical presence work. And it's been amazing to see how we really, it's almost like it's evidence. It's like the universe is going, you knew it in your heads, but now know it in your hearts, that we are all energy and vibration, and that we are all connected, and no physical distance can compromise that. And so I love that. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I exactly feel the same way. And it's keep people just kept saying it's like one love. It's like we're all together in this. And that is what the teaching of the journey is. And I know it's also your own teaching, is
Yes,
to open into that love.
but isn't that that is the truth of all teachers? It comes back to the same truths, doesn't it? It's the same lessons
Yes.
taught in different ways that people understand in different ways. And that's why I've really aligned myself with teachers like you who completely resonate with the work that I'm doing, and the work, and I resonate with the work that you're doing. In fact, I ran my first course, online course as well, you know, 2 weeks ago. And I did mention your work as well. One of the things that I cover quite broadly is healing. And I spoke about the brilliant work that you do with healing right down to a cellular level, which is so important. And I think that even though this work has been around for so many years, it's really coming to light on a whole new level, in a whole new way at the moment. And so your work, although it's been so relevant for so long, is even more relevant in a
Yeah.
completely different way right now.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, we so many people have been pent up for months, and then there's this resurgence happening right now of the COVID, and it's much worse than it was. I mean, for us here in Greece, we have, come through, I don't want to say unscathed, but their lockdown started early. It started March 4th,
Yeah.
and then the borders were closed March 16th, and they managed in a country of 11 million to only have 3,500 cases in total and 192 deaths. And so we've been in this kind of bubble, and we've been slowly emerging, and the numbers are not increasing, but that's not the case around the world. And so just when I thought, I'd written at the top of my Facebook page, emerging from lockdown with clarity and purpose, that's no longer the case. It's like now the lockdown for everybody has gotten worse, and people are more afraid, and more deaths. And it's a time where an invitation is being made by life to all of us to, while we're pent up, our emotions are emerging, and we need bona fide, replicable, practical work to be able to deal with all the stuff that's, being driven to the surface by being trapped and out of control, uncertain, losing our jobs, losing our livelihood, not knowing what's going on. whenever it's going to be safe again. And so it's driving to the surface all these issues that are already stored in our cells. And so it's such a gift that you and I and all the other beautiful speakers out there are just free of charge offering our work so that people have the tools they need to get to the emotional root cause of what is really co-creating these surface reactions. So I'm
Absolutely.
grateful for that.
Me too. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful to have wonderful facilitators, healers, teachers like yourself to be a part of this network that does exactly what you're saying. We bring information to empower you, the people out there. This is the Thrive Network, and I am chatting to Brandon Bays, who went through an extraordinary healing journey of her own and now teaches people that journey that takes you through a process that heals you on a cellular level. It is so profound. It is called The Journey by Brandon Bays. And I really, anybody who is listening that has a friend that might benefit from this conversation, please tag them in the comments below, whether you're listening to this live or whether you're listening to a recording of it. I really believe that we live in a universe that is working for us every moment of every day. And this information is reaching you right now for a reason. So pay attention to what resonates with you. Thank you to all of our viewers. I can see that you're tuning in from all over the world. And to my students who logged into Zoom by mistake and I had to kick you out, I apologize. For some reason, Zoom didn't change the password. So I hope that you've all managed to log on online. Brandon and I are chatting today about what is stopping us from experiencing healthy abundance in our lives. Brandon, what can you speak to on that note?
Well, one of the things I learned is that, when I healed from that basketball-sized tumor, I realized that all of us have stored in our bodies what I call silent saboteurs. And it's the kind of thing that when your potential's coming out, something just shuts you down and you don't know what's doing it. And yet it's going to happen. And it can happen in every area of our life where, we're in a relationship with somebody and we know it's getting close. We think that might be the one person, the one that we've been looking for our whole life. And we know it's going to happen, but we cannot stop ourselves. And we watch ourselves as we end up exploding the relationship. And we watch the love of our life walking out of our lives. Or it can happen that you're in a sport, and all sports figures talk about this, where they hit the wall. It's like a glass ceiling where they may have been in the zone and they are just, achieving, and then they hit the wall. And it could be like, you have the potential because you're winning. So let's say it's a golf match. And at the end, it comes down to that last putt. And it's going to happen, but you cannot stop yourself. You swing through, and just as you swing through, something glitches and you blow it. And you lose the whole match that you've been winning the entire time. And it can be in your health where you're feeling phenomenal and you're on a health regimen and you're eating well and working out and going to the gym and feeling fabulous. And a friend comes and says, oh, let's go to the pub tonight or let's go to the movies. And so that night you blow off the gym. And suddenly you notice that the gym routine starts to fall away and that the diet seems to fall away and you're back to weighing more than when you first started. And so we have these silent saboteurs in every area of our life. It can feel like no matter what job you get, you always have this glass ceiling that you cannot seem to get beyond it. And financially speaking. And so abundance comes in so many forms, or you long to be a writer, you long to be a painter, an artist of some kind. The creativity is here. But when it comes time to sit down to write, suddenly you've got writer's block, or you paint that one stroke and it doesn't look right. And suddenly nothing you paint looks right anymore. And so all of us have these silent saboteurs. I think you could probably relate to that.
I can relate to it like I cannot tell you.
It's just when your potential is coming out that something shuts you down. And that is what the journey work is so good at. And one of the things I found, and of course, I was a presenter for Tony Robbins, so I used to teach the Living Health retreat, a seminar that he used to give on the Monday night after he gave the weekend seminar. And so I've been to a lot of achievement seminars and a lot of success seminars, and almost all of them will say to you, really write down your goals and put it out there. And, it started way back in the 60s with that book, Think and Grow Rich, where, if you really put it out there, you will manifest it. And I found out it's not that easy. That if one part of you is going, I want to achieve and have that soulmate that I've been longing to for all my life, or one part of you is saying, I want that dream job, I'm going to apply for it. But if there's another part of you at a deeper level that's stored in your cells, and you know this, that all of these patterns, cell memories, and negativities and negative beliefs are actually stored in your cells, that another impulse is coming from deep within. No, I'm not the kind of person to attract that soulmate. They're going to hire someone else. They're never going to hire me. I'm never going to get that great job. And so it's like one part of you is putting out that intention, that strong prayer, that you're passionate about at a cognitive level. And another part of you is sabotaging that and is putting out an equal prayer with equal passion, but a level of impulse unconsciously. I'll never get that soulmate. I'll never get that great job. And so these two prayers go out simultaneously. And it's not that anything bad happens. It's usually that nothing happens. So it can be the kind of thing, I'm sure most of us, even if you've never been to a success seminar, on New Year's Day, often all of us decide to turn over a new leaf and we write down our goals for the year. And, we put that in a drawer and we probably don't even look at it for another year. But another year we open the drawer. Oh my God, there's the list that I wrote down of all the goals for this year. And inevitably we will look at those goals and see that, well, some of them manifested, but the vast, vast majority did not. And it's because of these two simultaneous prayers going out at the same moment, that canceling each other out. And so with the journey, what we do is, in a very real and in a very get real way, we go inside and we uncover where these old prayers, beliefs, these old issues are stored inside our body. And with very deeply releasing and healing work, we go through a process of not only uncovering where they are in the body, but understanding where they came from, what cell memories contributed to them. We go through a process of release and letting go, so that when new cells are born, that old programming is no longer in the new cells. They're born as new regenerative cells. And so it is possible for you to find out and to really finish with what is sabotaging you in your life. And so instead of beating yourself up, but yes, I followed all the rules. I put it out there. I wrote it down. I was passionate about it. Say instead, there's a deeper calling happening from within myself to get to the emotional root cause of what is causing these silent saboteurs to shut me down just when my divine potential is going out. I can remember the man who wrote Sleepless in Seattle. Yes. I don't know if it won us
yes, of course,
an award. And the screenwriter for that came to me, and he had writer's block, and he'd already been paid his $1 million to write this script. And he was on a deadline of a month away. And every time he sat to write, nothing got written. And I took him through what was essentially a journey process to find out what was co-creating this writer's block. He so completely finished with that he became voracious in writing Sleepless in Seattle. And about 3 years later, after the Academy Awards happened, he came to me and he said, I'm only coming to your private practice, Brandon, because I want to thank you for clearing that. And he said, will you do another process with me? I have another script to write. And like this, the tools are available. And it is possible for all of us to really, if the potential is here, to open up in that to divine potential. What the journey allows you to do is to clear whatever blocks you, whatever's holding you back, whatever's stopping you in any area of your life. So this radiant potential that you came in as, which I'm sure you've been learning with Susanna, is available to you. So you can open into all of this that you are. And so I love the abundance work for that reason.
It's absolutely spectacular. It has just gone 11 o'clock, and at 11 o'clock every morning, this started as a practice to thank our essential workers, as you guys know, but now it is to thank everybody that brings the vibration up on this planet, to celebrate everybody who brings the vibration up on this planet. I howl 3 times and I say, thank you more, please. So I'm going to do that very quickly, and then we're going to carry on. So 1, 2, 3. Oh! Thank you, more, please. And I say that with all the love in my heart for what Brandon is doing as well. You know, first of all, I want to ask, I can see so many people making comments here, and they're beautiful, beautiful comments. How many of you can identify with this silent saboteur that exists within every single one of us? Just give me a thumbs up if you are, if you can identify with that, whether you watching this live or recorded, just so that I know how many. I do like to go back in comments. And then also, Brandon, it's amazing that you're speaking exactly to almost the theme that has been going on around this full moon that has just happened.
Yes.
You know, because we are so connected to the universe and the planets. And for those of you listening, you will know that this whole time of Corona, like Brandon says, has given us this time of kind of sitting with ourselves and really connecting. And it's allowed us the space to feel, the space to really feel into these wounds that need to now come to light. And that can be really challenging for people. But it is the exact thing you need for healing, is to actually allow yourself to go, oh, is this the thing that has been holding me back? Is this the subconscious wound that is not allowing me to love fully, to live fully, to be completely present in my light? And what I love as well about what you said, Brandon, you know, my favorite quote, it's so ironic, but my favorite quote is by Marianne Williamson: our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And my question to all of you out there, is that your greatest fear? Is truly standing in your light, in your fullness, in your full capacity of being this brilliant being of light, your greatest fear? And how do you then remove it? And the tools like the journey work that Brandon is speaking about, that she facilitates, is one of those ways. And that's why I bring this to you, because I want you to stand in your light. The universe, our planet, humanity, our animals, all living things needs that now more than ever before. Right now, we need more beings that are brave and willing to stand in their light, to face their shadows. That's what we need right now. I know, Brandon, you're going to be doing another online intensive, and you're doing it in 2 different ways. Do you want to maybe just let people know what the 2 different options are?
Well, I try to do the online intensive in different time zones so that you can really immerse yourself. And Truthfully, my favorite version is the 2-day version, which goes from 9 a.m. to 6:30, where you're really immersed and the trainers are supporting you, and you're not just getting teachings, but you're going through it step by step with me and with the co-presenter. And it is a beautiful, beautiful version. And then there's a 2-week version where you get to download, or downstream, I should say, the different modules and work with a partner doing them, and also invite a trainer to come support you. But it's for me, some people need that because they're, not well enough to go through a deep immersion like the 9 to 6:30 version. And I've been kind of blown away at, I would say 80% of the people take the 2-day version, and then the other 20% take the 2-week version. They may have religious rules that they're not allowed to work on a weekend, let's say, or they may have caregiving where they have to pick and choose their times that they can undergo this work. So if they're taking care of children, and so that's for them. And so I'm getting the same results, which is amazing to me, that whether it's the 2-week version where you downstream on certain days and choose your own time and choose your own partner and work when that feels appropriate, or the 2-day version, which is just roll up your sleeves and let's dive in and really take this into life, So anyway, I think they're beginning again at the end of August. And so it's an invitation really to you. They get the foundational tools, not just the living experience of feeling washed, clean and healed and whole, but to have the tools, because it's my prayer that people take this work and they give it away, that they give it away to their children, their parents, their friends, their loved ones. And that, as you said, that we help one another to take the lampshade off our lights, to let the light shine. And, in the beginning, the journey was always known so much for physical healing. And in more recent years, in the last 15 years, it's not just known for physical healing. I mean, I still do the work with medical doctors and in hospitals, but it's known for emotional healing and for liberating your life and to coming home to a sense of peace inside yourself, to a sense of at-homeness, being at home in your own skin. And obviously, it's my prayer that people give themselves their wake-up call now so it doesn't manifest as illness down the line. Yeah. And so I just want to say one thing, though, as long as your listeners are listening. On my Facebook page, we have The Journey. It's the fan page. There is a membership site that is totally free. We're over 60 videos that I've recorded over the last 3 months, working with your fears, your beliefs, working with DNA cleansing, parenting videos, immune system clearing, all those. I mean, you think of it, we've been working with it, that are really work that you can do, webinars that you can do with yourself. But additionally there online, you're part of a community where you can start to swap processes. You can download that original, more abbreviated, abridged version of the first book that I wrote, The Journey, and get that work. And you can even ask for downloads of some of the latest scripts. And so it's there, free of charge, to support you in beginning your journey. And I think you will feel such a powerful shift that you will then want to, and you will know inside your heart that, yes, I want to go through the really in-depth work with the Journey Intensive. And so I just want you to know that on my personal Facebook page, I've been, publicizing that, what happens on Facebook? These videos disappear, over time, they just disappear. And so I wanted to have one place where you could get access to everything I've been recording for the last 3.5 months and feel that you could work right within your own home. And so, yes, I welcome you to take a look at that, join it. Once you subscribe, it's free, and just start to dive in.
Yeah, it's so important. I've got somebody who participated in one of your courses here, D. And Dee says, I've participated in Brandon's intensive journey course, and my daughter has done the kids' journey. And I can really say that these were so amazing and shifted me miles in my life. I would really recommend this to all. And it's never ending. You carry this in your life always, which I absolutely think is so beautiful. Thank you for that feedback, Dee. And I see there were lots of hearts and thumbs up. So I know that a lot of people can relate, that you all can relate to feeling that little self-saboteur. And I always say the reason why I do love health, wealth, meaning, purpose is because I believe that everything is connected. If we really want to heal, we have to heal on all levels: mind, body, spirit, and heart, the emotions as well. It's all connected. It's all linked. It all works together. And so you really do. So many people ask how I went through my healing journey, because I too, as you guys know and Brandon knows, I was also at death's door, and people couldn't believe that I went through the healing journey that I did. But it was because I addressed all of the layers. And so I invite you to really go and take advantage of Brandon's profound work. She is sharing it absolutely free. And if you can, do one of the journey intensives or over 2 weeks. I really, really highly recommend it. Thank you for being here today. It's always such a gift and a pleasure.
It's always a gift to be with you, Susanna, and to hear your uplifting message for humanity.
Thank you so
thank
much.
you with all my heart.
Likewise, and right back at you. And to every single person that is listening in right now, I promise to share the link so that you can join in Brandon's next course that she's doing, but also just to go onto Brandon's website and onto her Facebook pages and just delve in, just dive in. I know a lot of people are back at work now, but you know, this personal work, I really believe one of the reasons why this coronavirus happened was to give us space, to give us this desperately needed space as humanity to heal ourselves, to really connect with ourselves and our loved ones again. I saw a beautiful post, Brandon, of this dad. He said, but my daughter and I have both been down with corona and been, self-isolating for the last 2 weeks. He said it's been the most valuable time he has spent with his daughter in the 14 years of her life, because he's gotten just be with her, just her, no distractions, no anything else. And isn't that a gift?
Yes, so it's a miracle.
It is indeed. Lots of love and light to you all, but lots of love and blessings and light and gratitude to you as well. Bye.
Namaste.